Hi, I'm Tom Lu from Texas. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Glock pistol. The Glock pistol was developed by an Austrian engineer, Gaston Glock, in 1982. In February 1980, the Austrian Army announced a plan to replace its service pistol, Walther P38, which they had been using since the World War II, with a new pistol. Gaston Glock came forward and offered to develop such pistol by his company. Gaston Glock had no experience in firearms until he was 52 years old. He owned a company in Austria which produced the curtain rods and the knives for the Austrian army. But gun design was truly out of his area of expertise. Undeterred by his lack of experience, Gaston Glock and his colleagues began the work. After working on his pistol for 2 years, Gaston Glock invented a pistol that the world had never seen. The Austrian army required the new pistol to have no more than 58 parts and hold a minimum of 8 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The Glock pistol had only 33 parts. Gaston Glock managed to pack an astounding 17 rounds of 9mm into the pistol without significantly increasing the size. The Glock pistol was a success. It was quickly adopted by the Austrian army. Not only the Glock pistol was a success in Austria, but also it ushered in a new era of firearm technology in the world, and dramatically changed the perception about the usage of a handgun by armed professionals and civilian gun owners alike. Polymer frame, high magazine capacity, striker fired, consistent trigger pull, no external manual safety but the trigger safety have become Glock's signature design and have been copied by numerous other gun manufacturers. Despite its simplistic looks, the Glock pistol was actually meticulously designed. The decision to remove the external safety came from a study by Gaston Glock himself. Through his study, Gaston Glock discovered an alarming number of soldiers tended to forget whether the safety was engaged when carrying it, which prevented them from using the gun properly in an urgent situation. Polymer is a type of industrial plastic which is extremely strong and resistant to corrosion. The use of polymer in the lower part of the gun dramatically reduces the weight and makes it easy to carry and maneuver. In 1985, the Glock pistol made its way to the United States. In the United States, guns are much more than a tool of law enforcement or an article of commerce. They are embedded in the country's culture and history. To many Americans, over many generations, guns represented freedom, individualism, and self-reliance. No other country finds so much history, emotion, and belief in so many guns. In early 1980s, from Miami to New York to Chicago to LA, the United States experienced a startling surge of violent crimes, which often involved guns and drug trafficking. Equipped with revolvers which had only 6 rounds of ammunition, the U.S. police and law enforcement agencies worked under staggering disadvantage. They struggled with the fact that hardened criminals often carried more advanced weapons than theirs. In order to stop the crimes, they must upgrade their firepower. The Glock pistol came to fit the bill. Today, the Glock pistol is on the hip of more than 60% of the U.S. police officers and federal law enforcement agents. The development of the Glock pistol is a game changer in the history of firearms. It entirely transformed the landscape of the American handgun industry. It was designed by an Austrian man with humble beginnings and obscure background in early 1980s. Gaston Glock didn't set out to make a gun for the world. He just tried to make a gun for the Austrian army. To his surprise, the world was fascinated by his gun for its extraordinary innovation. Its boxy shape, black finish, and almost a defiant lack of grace have become the standard of modernism and efficiency. The handgun is the weapon that Americans care about. Within a decade of arriving, the Glock had become the ultimate American handgun. It became the weapon of a choice by people on both sides of the law. It's an instrument of law and security, but also menace, danger, and fear. The strange, scary allure of the dull clicking sound that the slide makes when the 9mm communicates. It's ready to fire the first round. To this day, the Glock is still at the top of the game.